So I actually finished recording this set of tutorials and only for me to realize that my mic was turned off and there is no sound. So I'm going to do a voiceover over the tutorials because I cannot start recording from the beginning. In this video, I'll be showing you how to create vlog type of tutorials. Different contents have evolved, different types of content over the TikTok, over YouTube Shorts, all platforms. And one of the most popular is vlogs and voiceover type of content. And in today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to do that using CapCut on your mobile device. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you're subscribed. I recently created a vlog kind of video and I posted it as a short on YouTube and it did really well, more than every other short I've posted since. It kind of goes to show you that the algorithm loves those natural type of videos, those natural type of shots. So my network is not really stable enough to show you this. I wanted to show you guys the analytics of that particular shot where I did a vlog, but let's just go over to CapCut and I'll show you how you can get this thing done, how you can achieve very effective and converting vlogs that the algorithm actually loves, and that will keep your viewers engaged. There are actually 5 things that you need to know in order to create these amazing types of vlogs. So please make sure you are subscribed and like this video. Leave a comment if you're a returning subscriber. I create content around graphic design, video editing, freelancing, and how you can make money out of it. So the first thing that you need to know, number one thing about creating these vlogs, is your shorts. SHOTS, the shorts. So the shorts has to do with different areas, and the first area we're talking about is the aspect ratio. The aspect ratio is more or less like the the size of your canvas. When you're drawing and there's like a canvas, the aspect ratio is like the size of your canvas. And different platforms, what will determine your aspect ratio is actually the platform that you're posting your video to, or your content to. If you're posting on, whether you're posting on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, wherever, that is where you select the aspect ratio in CapCut. So you can see 9:16 for TikTok, 16:9, 1:1, 4:3. There are different aspect ratios, different aspect ratios. Your platform determines. Now, of course, any ratio can be posted on any platform, but usually there is a default ratio that the platform allows. So for long form content, select TikTok. It can also serve for YouTube Shorts, it can serve for Instagram Reels, for Facebook Reels. And if you're shooting for TikTok, that means that your configuration will be 9:16. I've said that. If you're shooting for YouTube, it will be landscape 16:9. That's landscape. So if you're shooting for TikTok, you place your phone like this to get the shot. Your phone has to be vertical. Yeah, that's vertical. Your phone has to be vertical. But if you're shooting for YouTube, then your phone has to be horizontal, 16:9. And make sure that the shots are consistent. You don't shoot some in 16:9 and then you shoot some in 9:16 and all of that. No. Make sure the shots are very consistent. Now we want to also pay attention to the creativity of the shots, the creative angles of the shot. If you show one thing for too long, or if you show basic stuff for too long, it will be too boring. So I want to show you, this is a recent vlog that I did, and I want to show you a creative shot. Yes, this shot right here. How I got the shot was that I placed the phone. I actually risked my phone. I placed the phone right above me where I was going to hit, and then just to get a creative angle. And if you see the next scene, there's a different shot, a different angle. Don't show the same angles over and over again. Try and switch up the angles. Be creative about your shots. There are different types of shots. There's POV shots. In the POV shots, you kind of show your viewers what you are seeing, like your point of view. There's the wide angle shots, there's the low angle shots. There are different types of shots. This is not the subject of this video, but all I'm saying is be creative about your shots and don't show one thing for too long on the screen. Right now, the next thing about your shots, we're still in point number one, the shots. The next thing is that your shots need not only to be creative, they need to be stable. They need to be as stable as possible. You don't want your hand shaking or the camera shaking when you're taking your shots. And yes, I forgot to say, your shorts should also tell a story. Video editing is all about telling a story. Video editing is storytelling. So if, let's say for example, you want to do a vlog of a conference you attended or something, one of the things you should show us is maybe when you were stepping into the Uber or the taxi or the transport, or when you were entering into the hall. That should be like one of the opening shots. You don't put that kind of shot at the end of the vlog or something like that. No, you're trying to tell us a story. You're trying to carry somebody who was not there along. You're trying to like let them know that, oh, this is actually what happened. Yes, so your shots should also be in chronological order. This is a pro tip. Your shots should be in chronological order. And if you don't have a tripod in order to get stable shots, for example, these shots I got, I did not use a tripod. I had to just place it in front of a container, a kind of bowl, and then I just made sure it's not shaking at all. Try to get stable shots. Now, if your shots are not stable, CapCut has a place. You can see the option there. It's called the stabilize option. CapCut just has the option where you stabilize the shot. But there's something they say, it's better that you get it right in shooting or in filming than for you to try to correct it in editing. So as much as possible, try to get stable shots, try to get creative shots. Make sure your shots are in chronological order, and then make sure that the aspect ratio is right. The next thing now is trimming, cutting, and joining. I just showed you the duration of that video. It's over a little over 1 minute, and if you look at the videos that made up that vlog, they are very large. Plenty of them. You can see how many of them are there. You can see the duration. You can see one is 3 minutes, over 3 minutes long. This other one is also over 3 minutes long, and plenty of them. If you put them all together, there's this one now is 6 minutes 42. If you put them together, I'm very sure that there will be more than 20 minutes altogether, but then now they are compressed to 1 minute 50 seconds. This is the second tip that you need in creating effective vlogs. Don't make your vlogs too long, unless you're like creating a full-blown YouTube movie. That is a different case. But if it's short form content, don't make it too long. People will get bored. People don't like watching too long things. So at most 1 minute 30 seconds. In this case, I broke that rule because I tried as much as possible. It was not possible. But then try and cut and join. And in the cut and join, make sure that the same thing does not stay on the screen for too long when you're cutting. Just cut, and make sure you don't lose the story. Make sure you don't lose it. Keep your best shots. Delete the ones that are too boring or too regular. The ones that are not really relevant to the story that you're telling. That is cutting, joining, and trimming. Now, the third thing that you need to know about creating vlogs that make sense is color correction, color grading, and color editing. Right, this was not the original color of this clip. Let me just look for a place where you have the color grading showing very well. And okay, let's use here. I'll be deleting all my adjustment layers and filter layers so that you see the original way the clip was. Now you see that it's not exactly bright or sharp. The color grade, the color correction would depend on the mood of the video. So basically, I'll show you my default, should I call it default adjustment settings? Yeah, in my default adjustment settings, I don't do so much. The key is that you don't do too much. So usually contrasts, I increase the contrasts. There's no specific value, just whatever feels right for that type of video, I just touch it. Saturation, I like to reduce it because if you increase it, it will make it look shouty. So either I reduce it or I leave it and don't touch it at all. Then I like to increase my sharpen. I like to increase it very well, increase clarity too, it makes the video pop. And for HSL, I don't use it unless there's a particular color in my video that I want to stand out. And in this case, you see that brown, it matches with the brown all over that video, so I just wanted to touch it a bit. And what I did was to increase the saturation and reduce the lightness for that particular color. That's all I did in HSL. And then shadows and highlights, I like to increase them. Sometimes I reduce them, sometimes I leave them. Then just a little tiny bit of vignette, that is what I do for color correction. Then for the filters, now it depends. In this video I just chose these two because they match the vibe of the video. It depends. Sometimes you don't even add any filter at all. So color correction, color editing, color grading is the next thing you want to do, just to make sure that your video quality is at least improved. So now the fourth thing, is it number 4? Yeah, has to do with audio. Let's talk about everything audio. Audio has to do with your background music, your voiceovers. If at all. There'll be voiceovers. Why audio is important is that they kind of define your how do I say this now? It kind of defines the tone, yes, the tone of your video, whether the video is official, whether it's playful, whether it's comical, whether it's informal, whether it's somewhere in between. It's the audio that would influence it, both the choice of background music, both the voiceover. So if you click on audio in CapCut, you'd see a number of options. You can do this in any video editing app or software, by the way, but we're just using CapCut for this example. So if you click there on CapCut, you'd see that you can add your sound here. If you tap on sounds, you see different options: sounds, brand music, copyright, sound effects, and so on and so forth. The sounds allow you to add background music. So let's talk about background music first of all. So if you tap on audio, tap on sounds, it will take you to your phone's your phone's gallery, not gallery now, your phone's music library. Now of course CapCut has its own music library, which you would see. In fact, it's the first thing that would meet you when you touch this. So you'd see a lot of this thing, but if you touch the next, that folder icon, it will bring out your phone's music library, where you can find extracted and device. So you tap on device, scroll over, and find the particular music you want. If you see a music in somebody else's video that you want to use in your own video, you just click on that extracted, and it will extract the person's audio rather, from their video. Of course, the video should already be in your phone's gallery, so you're not just doing any random stuff. Then when you select your background music, another pro tip: make sure that the volume of the background music is not unnecessarily loud. Make sure that it is not louder than your voiceover. If there will be a voiceover, if there will be no voiceover, then the volume can be normal. But if there will be a voiceover, make sure that the volume of the background music is minimal. Then scroll over to the audio options. You still see record right there. It's the last option there. If you scroll audio, scroll record, tap on it. This is for those who want to add voiceovers. Now this is where you want to pay very, very close attention. Sorry, oh god, this voiceover thing is hard. So there will be like a countdown, and then once the countdown is exhausted, CapCut will start recording your audio. Right now, before I go on, let me show you something. What you want to do before you even click that record is that play the video first of all. Click play and do like a mock or a test, a practice. Do like a practice voiceover. Just play the video and say what you have in mind. So persons write a script, they write it out, but personally I feel it's not necessary to write a script. So just play the video till the very end. After you've done cutting and doing everything, play the video and say what you have in mind to say. Just be talking and be going. And you can do this even more than once or twice, so that it helps you have a feel of what to say next, how to arrange your words, what comes next on the screen, so that in the actual voiceover you don't make a lot of mistakes. So when you've done that for a number of times, you can now hit record and then actually start the main recording. Now of course this may not be the final one, you may need to redo maybe once or twice, but at least you will do better. So let's do a mock recording and assume you're just recording blah 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 blah. So we'll just assume that this recording reached the end, just to save us time in this video. We'll assume it reaches the end of the video. So this is a pro tip, another pro tip. Pay attention carefully. You see all these silent points in the audio, your voiceover. You know the silent points because they have the lowest audio waves. So what you want to do to make your voiceover pro and natural is that you want to split. When you come to those places, the audio, the silent points, before you do that, make sure that you've done all the editing on your audio. If you're reducing noise, make sure you've reduced noise. If you're increasing volume, make sure the volume is perfect before you split. Then you can now split at the silent points and then crop out all the silent points on every side. You do this for every junction. Now drag each side to overlap under. Let me zoom in a bit so you see. So let it overlap, so that as soon as that top one, now the one on top, as soon as it is finishing, the one under is coming in, the voices are just going into each other seamlessly. It helps keep your audience engaged and help them keep watching. Like, it kind of is good. So let's duplicate this and also assume there's another one here. you see, you do the same overlapping. Just repeat this entire process throughout your voiceover, throughout the video that you've created. It helps your voiceover to be a bit much more engaging. And then when you're recording your voiceover, try as much as possible to sound natural and be yourself. Don't try to put up an intonation or an accent or something. Just be yourself. Yeah, that is for voiceovers. And then basically at this point, we are done with this video. Actually, at this point we are done. And just in case you don't have a solid mic, maybe your phone's audio is not that good, there is a video I put up that you can check out to help you enhance your audio to sound very, very crisp and standard. So yeah, at this point you're almost done. All that is left is what we call enhancers, what I call enhancers. Something like this text, now this text that is on the screen, or maybe this overlay, this lens flare overlay, or this other overlay that I put for my YouTube channel name. Just basically anything, even transitions form part of these enhancers. But in vlogs, try as much as possible to avoid transitions. Just let the scenes cut into each other. Avoid transitions too much. Just keep everything simple. Enhancers can even be audio, it can be memes, funny memes, Nollywood memes. All of these things can be enhancers in your video. And yeah, you're actually done. Congratulations, you've created a world-class audience engaging, audience retaining vlog that you can post on your TikTok, your YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, Facebook, any and everywhere. Yes. And if you are totally new to video editing and you are totally new to CapCut, there is actually a video that I recorded, a very, very detailed tutorial that shows you every single thing you need to know about CapCut. In that video, I explain in detail everything about CapCut app and how they work, and you might want to check it out. I'll link it in the description, and it should be somewhere around your screen. You should just click that and watch it. With that being said, make sure that you're subscribed. I'll see you guys in the next one. My name is Onyedika Israel. This is the Portal of Value. Please leave a comment if you found this useful. And yeah, here you go. This is the video that I talked about. Peace out.